Hey, welcome back to Resilience Build. My name is Jake, and today we're looking into important information and where to find it on your car. So the point of this video is to give you, the viewer, some quick places to look on your vehicle to give you guys some key information. This is going to include things under the hood, in the interior of your car, and on the exterior of your car. So this is not going to be a comprehensive list of everything you need to know about your car, but a more quick and generalized list of things that you should know if you own a vehicle. The first place we're going to be looking is under the hood of my 2003 4Runner. So we're going to be looking at the engine, which is right in the middle of the engine bay, and more specifically on the top of the cam cover you're going to notice an oil fill cap. Now on most modern cars, they're going to include the oil weight designed for that engine. Now in an emergency, you can go up in viscosity to heavier oils, but remember to never go down to like a 0W20 if your car is designed to use a 5W30. Next thing you'll typically notice on top of your engine block on the cam cover is a timing belt replacement sticker. Now this is important to notice because your timing belt needs to be replaced every 75 to 120,000 miles depending on your manufacturer. This is important as not replacing your timing belt can lead to catastrophic failure of your engine. So be sure to do this on time every time. And next up we have the battery, which is typically located either on the driver or passenger side, just behind the headlights in the engine bay. So the most important information on your battery ultimately is your cold cranking amperage at 32 and 0 degrees Fahrenheit. The typical range at 0 degrees Fahrenheit is 500 cold cranking amps for a small inline 4, all the way up to 850 plus for something like a large Dodge diesel truck. Now, batteries and alternators are typically matched in vehicles, and so if you ever need to jump someone else's car, this is important to know because you don't want to use a small Honda battery and alternator to jump a large Dodge diesel truck. That's just going to cause way too much load, and it will probably fry either the battery or the alternator of the smaller vehicle. And next up we have the brake accumulator or the brake reservoir on top of the brake master cylinder. Now, key information that you can get from this is typically on the cap they will give you the brake fluid required that this vehicle uses. Now that's like a .3 or 4, but also give you instructions of how to properly read the level of your brake fluid. So now moving directly under the hood of your vehicle, this is where you're going to find different drawings and schematics that show you maybe belts or piping diagrams, as well as different regulations that this vehicle meets. So one of the first things you'll typically see is a belt diagram. Now in this case, for this more modern V8, you can see that it's one large accessory belt, and it shows the routing and all the pulleys that single belt goes through, as well as the left-hand screw tensioner that will untension the belt if I ever need to change it. Now Toyota includes this important vehicle information sticker right under the hood that is typically just telling you only the different regulations that it currently meets. But something else it does give you is the valve clearance when the engine is cold for both the intake and exhaust valve. And this is helpful when you're, say, doing a timing belt and you need to check the clearances for your valves. The information is just right there. And here we have a vacuum hose routing diagram for the 2UZ FE, which is the 4.7 liter V8 in the Toyota 4Runner. I really like this diagram because if you ever want to replace the hoses on your vehicle, you know exactly where they're routed to, or if you're looking to modify your car and go to cold air intake, you will need to know that the fuel pressure regulator is hooked up to the air intake tract. And so if you're ever modifying your car, be sure to have a diagram like this to know exactly where all the vacuum hoses run. And the next area we'll be focusing on is the exterior of your vehicle. Now, first thing we'll be looking for is the VIN, which is your vehicle identification number, which is located on the driver's side of your car between the dash and the hood of your vehicle. Now, this was a little difficult to get my camera to focus, but this number ultimately gives you different specs about your car, like when it was made and the certain type of trim it has. But Toyota is also nice enough to include your VIN in multiple different locations around your vehicle, like under the hood and between the door jambs of your car. Now this sticker, which is located in the driver's side door jamb, is the recommended cold tire inflation pressure, which is just given you for the given tire size dimensions, the front and rear inflation pressure. Now on this vehicle it happens to be 32 psi, which is a very common inflation pressure, but if you are running an aftermarket setup, you'll want to look up the specifics for that tire. So this sticker, which is located in the driver's side door well, is telling you the governed vehicle weight rating of your vehicle. Now this is the total amount of weight that your vehicle can weigh at any time, which includes the curb weight of the vehicle, passengers and things in the car, and 10 to 20% of the tongue weight of a trailer you may be pulling. So this number becomes very important when calculating how much can I actually tow so that it does not exceed the GVWR of my vehicle. And lastly, we're moving on to the interior of your vehicle. So first thing we're going to be looking at is the interior fuse panel for your vehicle, which is typically located on the driver's side footwell. And so important information you can gather from this is, one, the location of the fuses, if there's anything on the interior that goes off. But what a lot of people don't know is if you just flip that little panel around, it will actually give you a schematic detailing all the fuses necessary and what they go to and their amperage rating. So this next portion goes out to anyone who's forgotten where their gas cap is located on their car as they roll up to the pump. If the indicator is on the left-hand side of the gauges or right-hand side of the gauges without an arrow, that typically indicates where the gas cap is located on the exterior of your vehicle, or like on the 4Runner, you'll see that it actually has a little arrow with the pump sign showing which side it is on. Now on the sun visor of your vehicle, you'll typically see safety warnings related to seatbelt use, as well as a small notice for 4x4 vehicles on how to engage your 4x4 system given the conditions you're in. So jumping over to the glove box, this is where we're going to find the owner's manual, which is the most important document in your vehicle in respect to how to take care of your vehicle and understand more of the capacities of your vehicle. And so looking at the owner's manual and open up the table of contents, we're going to find all different types of topics that are going to lay out the functionality of your car. And what we're most importantly going to be looking at in this channel is the do-it-yourself and specifications portions, as that's going to give us all the fluid capacity, the ratings, and maintenance intervals to best take care of your car.
Hey, if you found any of this information valuable, please consider giving me a like, a share, and a subscribe. And as always, have an awesome day.